Good morning. Right, it's Tuesday today, and I finished these off on Friday, or put them together on Friday, whatever. Yeah, I listened to them a few times over the weekend. Had a good few hours with them on Friday evening, and again on Sunday. I'm really pleased with them. Really pleased with them. And it's now time to veneer them. I made one adjustment to the crossover, which was the shunt capacitor on the woofer circuit, which was an 8 microfarad. I just increased to a 9. I almost didn't need to do that, but I just wanted to pull part of the woofer's roll-off down a little bit, and that's all it needed. They were out the box really good. And one of the things that's very evident listening to these is that from the woofer to the tweeter through the crossover region, they are very nicely in phase and time aligned. They're just nice to listen to. They don't have incredible bass extension, but you wouldn't expect that from these. They are very small, but they do have bass, obviously, and like listening to an LS35A, that doesn't have extended bass, but you can forgive it. You sort of tune into it, and if you play a bass heavy track, the bass is clearly there, but it's not the speaker throughout the range, even though there isn't too much bottom end there, is nicely in proportion. And they're really good to listen to, and being so small and the crossover area being so well behaved, they image incredibly. They really do. I had them set up in the lounge, which is a reasonable size room, 4.5 meters by 6, so it's a big size for a little speaker, and these did really well in there. I had them set up probably 8 foot apart, maybe a little bit more, yeah, more like 10 foot probably, and I was sitting similar distance away. Fantastic image, and being so small, even if you move, so my center position in that room is the center seat on our 3-seater sofa. Even if you move right or on the left seat, the image is still there to a degree, believe it or not, and that makes these small speakers really good. If I switched on my sub, it was pretty much the full picture. Just running these with a subwoofer crossed at about 60 hertz, really good. Yeah, I could live with that. Very good indeed. So yeah, it's time to veneer these. I've got some teak veneer left over. I've got loads of veneer left over, but I'm going to do these in teak. I think that will look quite classy with these. So we'll edge band the front, and then top, bottom, sides and back, so I need to take the speakers apart again, but from a sonic point of view they're great. I don't particularly like the look of this tweeter, in all honesty, but it has worked well. Its response is good. Needed a little bit of control at the top, and I flattened out the impedance to help it interact with the second order high pass I was using. But yeah, sonically they're great, so time to get them veneered, make some covers for them, have another listen to them, and then these will be up for sale. And if you watch the previous video, you'll see how I've built them, because I'm not continuing with this woofer or this speaker, so I've just thrown the design out there. There'll be a fabulous bookshelf speaker, used in a small room. Even in a larger room, just use a subwoofer and you'll be enjoying yourself, I think. Right, enough waffling, more building. Right, so I'm taking these apart obviously to now veneer them. I'm going to put in the time lapse of me building the crossovers, because it was pretty difficult to fit these in. I really wanted to build them on some boards and get them in and bottom, but there really wasn't the room, so I've had to put some small boards in the back build all the crossovers on that with our woofer inductor down here, and then I have a foam panel that kind of covers all that up, and that's worked really well. It's not really compromising the airspace in the speaker too much. Let's move that one in a bit more. But yeah, it's worked well. So I've used good air core inductors, JB polypropylene capacitors, good resistors, decent wiring, reasonable wiring, copper wiring. Yeah, it's perfect, absolutely perfect. Right, here's the crossover build in time lapse. It's raining again outside. Right, so these are the crossovers done. I've done them on a piece of board to go in the back of the cabinet, because there really isn't much room in there at all. So I've had to be a little bit creative with where everything's gone. So we have our tweeter circuit up here, in through this resistor, through this capacitor, out to our tweeter, picking up this inductor to ground, this capacitor to ground, and a set of resistors in the bottom to ground as well, forming this section here. And then woofer circuit in through this inductor, picking up our woofer positive, also picking up our capacitor and resistor down to ground, with a pair of resistors across the woofer as well. So yeah, pretty compact, but it fitted just about. The smaller the speaker, the harder it is to veneer. Yeah, I did a video on how I veneer speakers, so if you're interested in watching that, go and have a look. I tend to try and do the edge banding first, because it's always the part that has the most opportunity to go wrong. So yeah, if I can get that out of the way first, and then if I have to redo it, it's not the end of the world. These stupid little bits are so annoying. Yeah, this is my preferred method of veneering, is to use Unibond's contact adhesive. You just put it on both sides, leave it for at least 20 minutes, and then as soon as you introduce them together, fuck's sake, yeah, that's going to piss me off after a while. As soon as you introduce them together, they bond, and that's it. You don't really have any opportunity after that to muck around with them. But after that 20 minutes, the adhesive has gone completely dry, so it makes it nice and easy to kind of muck around with everything and position it. Like I say, this is the most awkward, fiddliest part of veneering the speakers. The rest is easy. So getting this stupid bit out of the way first is ideal. Because it is bloody annoying. The other method is, which is quite good, is the hot glue method, or iron-on method I should say. And for that you can use normal PVA glue, so you kind of glue both sides like I'm doing here, and then leave it to go off a bit and then iron it on. That works quite well. I just find sometimes it doesn't bond as well, whereas this is, once it's stuck together, that's it, it's super strong. Right, so they're done, and now it's just time to quickly, with the trim route of it, take off the ends. So this side will get rolled on properly in a minute once I do the other. So I'm just lifting it up and then lining everything up. So let's do the same with this side. This is why it's important that you mark up all your panels. Leave a bit of overlap as well, but not too much, otherwise the grain really won't match. It'll be too far out. And if you get it wrong, you can't really unstick it, so get it right. Something very satisfying about doing veneering. Careful with the edges as well. If that folds over, rolls over, you'll split this off, and that's not a good thing. Right, so there we go. So I will now leave these for 24 hours for that glue to properly cure, and then I will then sand them properly, get a coat of Danish oil on them, let that go off, probably put a second coat on after that, and then finally finish a third coat with some wet and dry, which I'll show you how I do that, and that really does finish off the wood and give you a nice sheen. So one of the final little things I like to do before I leave them for 24 hours and sand them tomorrow is just to scrape some coloured filler over the joints, the angles, because if they're not perfect and they've got tiny gaps, just a bit of filler completely gets rid of that, and then when you sand it all, job's a good one. So yeah, that's it until I come back to them tomorrow. Right, that's the covers done for them, and I think once they're oiled up they're going to be pretty bloody good. Okay, they've had one coat of Danish oil now, and yeah, looking pretty good. So I'm going to let that harden overnight. That will bond any kind of loose fibres and that sort of thing together. They'll probably get another coat in the morning, and then end of the day I will give them a coat with some wet and dry, some like 1800 grit, because that really does work well. Gives a nice sheen to the veneer afterwards. Yeah, really cool. That's rather nice. Right, I'm going to call these little beauties finished, and they are lovely. Really nice little things. Yeah, like I said, this isn't a version or a speaker I'm going to continue with my HA line. If there was a 4-inch woofer available in the excuse me, in the polypropylene line I'm using now, then I probably would, but I'm going to make a smaller version of the 3.5 with the 5-inch woofer. So yeah, there's kind of no need to carry on with this, but I made the cabinets. I wanted to finish them off, and they're really good. They look lovely. I've used this kind of oatmeal cloth. I think it suits teak really well. So yeah, lovely little things. Great little bookshelf speaker, near field monitor, desk speaker. Like I was saying earlier, even in the lounge with the subwoofer, they were room filling. They really were. So yeah, if you've got a small space, maybe a difficult room, this would be a good speaker with a sub. I think you'll all be there. So yeah, there we go. Right. Catch you on the next one.